Hello loves, let's have a little movement. So this is the type of movement that will be perfect to start your day, and you can make a ritual of it if you want. It won't be super crazy, but it will get your body moving and it's going to make you feel good. So we'll start, if you have a block, blocks are a great thing to have. And you can just place the block, I like mine on the medium setting, underneath of your bum. On your knees, take your hands to your bum, lift your cheeks. Give your heels a little squeeze into the block. Top of the foot gently presses down, slightly pulling back for ever so subtle hollow, like a little lift underneath of the ankle. Rest your hands on top of your thighs. Lift and lengthen into your belly. Fill into your heart. Lift the chin. And just breathe. And connecting your breath. And taking each inhale a little bit deeper. And letting each exhale be a little bit softer. And just for a couple moments, staying present with your breath. And feeling the wave of inhale and exhale move you ever so slightly. Take your hands one on top of the other to your heart. Squish your heart a little bit, connect in with your heartbeat, your pulse. Deep breaths here into a magical day. Lift the corners of your mouth. Press your arms forward and wide. Lift your heart up to the sky, arms reaching ahead of your shoulders. Just gently begin to slide your ribs side to side. Gentle expansion through the side body while holding this radiant fullness through the whole heart, the whole rib cage. And then find some stillness and just take the block, place it to the side. So staying on the knees here, you're going to press the top of the foot down and drag back a little bit to connect into a little hollow in the ankle. Reach your arms forward one more time. Lift your heart up towards the sky and then sweep your hands to catch both sides of the skull. The elbows hug narrow. Press your head into your hand. Let the throat get long. Let the belly get long. Root your hips back wide. Lift and lengthen. Open your heart to the sky. Little pulses here. Keep your hollows in your groins. So what I mean there is, instead of shooting the hips forward like that, keep your hips gently moving back. Reaching up, stretching the space between the ribs and the hips. Rise high, lift and lengthen. Sit the hips back, curl your chin into your chest, round through the upper back. Slide your ribs side to side, connect into your back. Take your time, breathe here. Come back through center. Slide your hips wide, root them back, and then lift your heart back up to the sky. Stretch open. Make one more pulse, rise high. And then release your arms. Connect your wrists ahead of your heart. And just sort of begin to slide your ribs side to side. From the front, it sort of looks like this weaving, this lifting. Lift your chin, open your throat. You're welcome to get creative here. So you might round through center and then lift up to one side, or round through center here. You can lift up high, and you can keep the arms reaching forward. Little bit of resistance of the wrists together creates deeper stretches into the side body, and just sort of moving in this serpentine, soft way. Moving, hips root wide, belly's long. Okay, one more moment here. Awesome. Release your arms, slide forward into all fours, hands and knees. I'm going to take the hands as wide as your mat or as wide as your shoulders. Space is nice. Walk your feet out as your knees back just a little bit. So we want the wrists to be ahead of the shoulders, so that there's a slant in the arm. And this is just going to take weight off of the wrists. Keep your butt back and wide, lengthen the belly, and then push the mat away to really find that fullness in the back of your rib cage. Slide your ribs side to side. So it's like you pull your hips back into a glide. Finding, you can even shut your eyes here. And just finding that sliding motion, winding a little into the side body. You're welcome to find little barrel rolls here, so sliding into the side, into a roll. Okay, find some stillness in the center. Strong press of the mat away. Really broaden through the whole heart. The rib cage expands wide. Let's pulse forward and back. So sliding the hips back, trying to resist the urge to tuck the tail and keep your butt wide. Lengthen into the belly and then reach the heart forward. As you pulse your heart forward, press down the mat and broaden through the back. Feel your shoulder blades expand. Okay, next time you sit your hips way back, peel your right knee open to the side, place your paw to the mat. Kickstand the left foot out just a little bit. Hips sit back and wide, peel open, rise into the right side. So finding this little pulse, root your hips back and wide, and then rise like you're peeling open into your right side, little opening. As we rise high into the right ribs, we might find this organic lifting into the fingertips. Yeah, take a big stretch, reach your right arm forward and long, lengthen. Take one more pulse. And then come back through center, hands and knees. Undulate your spine, root your hips way back and wide into a curl forward. Connecting to each vertebrae, root wide, hips pull back. And then curl forward, press down the mat as you round through the upper back, chin to chest. Okay, one more. Awesome. Find some stillness in a neutral space. Walk your hands forward, melt your heart down to the mat. You can take your forehead to the mat and just roll your head side to side. If it doesn't feel cool for you to melt your heart like this, you're welcome to take 2 forearms to the mat and just sort of pulse forward and back. with the back of the heart, instead of collapsing here, notice if you can really press down the mat to fill into the back, unless you are really melting like this. Couple of big breaths here. Press your hands into the mat and roll your spine forward. Make your way back into this all fours position. So the hands just ahead of or the wrists just ahead of the shoulders. The hips pulling back and wide, pulse forward and back. And so maintaining the alignment of the spine, the fullness through the thoracic, the length through the belly to support the lower lumbar, the crown of the head reaching forward. Pull your hips way back and wide. Peel your left knee open to the side. Place your paw to the mat. Kickstand the right foot out just a little bit. Hips sit back and wide, and then peel open, lift and lengthen into the left side. Little pulses here to creep open that left line, that left side of the body. Take a big stretch, reach your left arm forward and long, lengthening through that whole side line, reaching, opening. Take one more pulse. And then release your hand back down. Place your knees to the ground. Take a couple of barrel rolls, big circular motions of the rib cage. And switch your roll, other direction. Really trying to work to isolate the ribs and find that full expression as you move through the back. Okay, find some stillness here. Press down the mat, really hold that fullness in the back. The opposite the opposite would look like this collapsing, and so instead we really want to be lifting through the back of the heart. Let's tuck the toes, sit the hips back, lift the knees up, send your hips up to the sky. Walk your feet as wide as the mat or as wide as your hips. Take a nice deep bend into your knees. And then from this space, send your butt back wide and high. You can keep the bend in your knees. Push down the ground, hold the fullness in the heart, and begin to shift your hips side to side. Little knee knocks through the center. You'll feel this winding in the belly. Okay. Find stillness. Pulse forward and back. As we pulse forward, press down the mat, fill into the back. Hips stay high and wide. Deep bends into your spring forward. Okay, stillness. Step wide, step wide. Big deep bend into your knees, hovered heels, knees forward, hips root back, slide your hands back or walk your hands back. Holding the length through the belly, let's lift up, hands to the tops of the thighs. Take some shoulder dips, little knock of your shoulders, twisting of the ribs side to side. Okay. So wide stance here. We're gonna keep the knees bent and the hips gently moving back. Pick up your heels and shift both feet to face the right. So big bends into the knees, slide the hips back and wide, and connect your right forearm to the top of your right thigh. Reach your left arm forward and long, lengthen through the whole left side. Drag your left paw down and back as you stretch, reach, open up. Take your right fist to the crown of your head and use your fist to resist your head into your hand. Hips root back and wide, reaching and extending, opening into the side. One more pulse. Yes. And then release. Back center. Give yourself a little hug. A little spring rise, side to side, sitting deep into these little rib openers. Okay. We'll switch sides. So bend the knees, slide the hips back. Shift the weight forward to the front of the paw and pivot both feet to face the left. Deep bends into the knees, slide your hips back and wide, connect your left forearm to the top of your thigh. Reach your arm, big stretch, lengthen and open through the belly, through the side. Drag the right paw down and back as you reach, extend, open up. Connect your fist to the crown of the head. Resist your head into your hand to peel open. Rooting back that left paw. Drag back into the stretch. Reach and open. Yeah, one more pulse. Cool. Lift it up. Deep bends into the knees. Slide, glide your legs side to side. Hey, find stillness in the center. Send the butt way back. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Step back, hands and feet. A little pedal of your heels. A little shift of your hips side to side. Okay. Find some stillness. Big strong press of the mat away, really filling through the back heart, the back rib cage. Externally rotate your left hand just a little bit. Toes and knees twist to the right. Bend your knees. Rise, lift, lengthen, open into the right side. So bend and extend. Bend and extend. Yeah, one more bend and extend. Lower your left hip down. Okay. And take your right foot forward of the left thigh. Right fingertips to the right side of the mat. Press your left hand away as you drag your right fingers back. Kind of like push, pull forward and back. Resisting the ankle into the thigh, thigh back into the ankle. Yeah, yo. And one more little push, pull. Yeah. Awesome. And then we're going to replace that foot so it's not in front of the thigh anymore. Plant your hands and spin all the way back up into hands and feet. Pulse forward, back, hips high, wide, reach the heart forward. Okay. Externally rotate the right hand, toes and knees twist to the left. Bend your knees, root the hips back and wide, rise, lift, lengthen, open into the left side, little pulse. It's like you're turning yourself into a rainbow. Yeah, one more. Lower your right hip down to the mat. Hip lands, take the left foot forward of the right thigh. Your left fingertips can land to the left side of the mat. You can kind of work into this like little push-pull so that the right hand pushes away as the left fingertips drag back. Kind of like teeter-totter or like glide forward and back. as you push and drag the fingertips back. Lift the chin and open the throat. Cool. Okay, unlink your ankle from in front of the thigh. Extend your right arm long to the top left corner of the mat to lie onto your side to transition to the back. When you get to the back, catch your knees and just roll side to side. Let your knees pull heavy, lift up your chin and feel the earth beneath you. Okay. Find some stillness. Take the knees into the air, reach your arms up into the sky. Move through an active twist, so knees halfway to the right, arms halfway to the left. And then stretch long like you're reaching for opposite corners of the room. Kicking, opening, stretching. You feel this in your belly, and then bring it back in and shift knees to the left, arms to the right. Stretch, kick long, open, reaching. Bring it back, knees right, arms left, big stretch, kick long, open. And bring it back, knees to the left, arms to the right, stretch. Back through center, knees right, arms left, and stretch. Last time, maybe little pulse kicks. Bring it back, knees to the left, arms to the right. Reach like you're pressing for opposite corners of the room. Little pulse kicks are here if you like. Bring it back center. Plant your feet. Interlace your hands behind your right thigh. Let your thigh pull heavy away so that the arms pull long and the shoulder blades get broad. From this space, the lower lumbar lifted into its natural curve, kick your foot up to the sky. So when I go here, oftentimes I get a little jackhammer leg. And so it's like really working with the idea of rooting your femur into your hip socket while kicking the heel upwards. And like a little gentle back line of the leg engagement. Okay. Guide your right knee down towards your shoulder and catch the outside edge of your foot. If this doesn't feel accessible to move into half happy baby, you're welcome to stay in this position and maybe add little pulse kicks. So half happy baby, maybe it feels good to kick wide towards the right side. Okay. Come back through center and place the paw back down. Switch sides, interlace your hands behind the left thigh. Let your thigh pull heavy away from you so your arms pull long and the shoulder blades broad. Lift your chin and kick your heel up towards the sky. So again, working this idea of rooting the femur down into the hip socket and kicking the heel energetically upwards. Option to stay moving into little pulse kicks. Option to guide your knee down towards your shoulder. Catch the outside edge of your left foot for half happy baby. And if it feels okay, you can kick wide your leg to the left side. Replace your foot down to the mat. Take fingertips, land them above your head, elbows to the sky, and just wash your knees side to side. And as you're ready, extend your legs long. Take your hands to your bum and widen your cheeks. Give yourself a big love hug. Spread the shoulders, broaden. Arms out to the side, palms up or down. You can decide. Lift your chin, open your throat. Little gentle shake sometimes feels good just to let everything fall into place. Take a big, deep, full inhale. Exhale. Let go. And let yourself just sort of soak in the goodness. Bring lightness into your heart, breathing in that connected way. Promising yourself a very magical day. Can end with your hands to your heart and just connect back with your heartbeat. Stay as long as you have. Rest is best. Thank you for practicing. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.